Hold up.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here, and welcome back to a brand new video if you guys stay here on my channel. Today we are back with round 3 of my F1 2016 Career Mode Season 3 with Red Bull Racing. And as you can see, we are here for what is going to be the Chinese Grand Prix. If you do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel already. And here we are then in the vehicle performance comparison. You can see we're closing on Mercedes at the moment thanks to our 2 upgrades. But of course, Mercedes will probably be making some upgrades very, very soon. So yeah, we'll be looking to hopefully try and close them down as quick as we possibly can. And yeah, in the driver's standings, we're top of the table thanks to our back-to-back wins in Australia and Bahrain. Yeah, let's get into the Chinese Grand Prix. Now, a couple of things have been creeping up in my recent F1 videos, and I'm going to discuss them very quickly. I don't know if I'll have enough time, but here we go. Anyway, so the first one is go to someone in the comment section down below said, go to Ultimate AI. This is too easy for you. I'm pretty sure you have some balls, yeah, and do 50% races as well. So first of all, I've explained it many times, I'm too slow on Ultimate AI, and I don't like it. Like, that's the point. Like, this career mode, as much as it's about, you know, you guys and interacting with me in this career mode, there's a lot of things that are done my way, because it's my career mode. And the difficulty level that I'm playing on is perfectly comfortable for what I like. Now, of course, I dominated the Bahrain Grand Prix, if you haven't watched it already. And the reason I dominated in Bahrain is because I find it easy to race around Bahrain. It's a track I love driving around, hence why I did so well. Then the second one, which is have some balls, well, that's just frustration, I would have thought. And then the final thing was do 50% races. Now, of course, if you guys know, I do 25% races and not 50% races. And the reason I do 25% races is because I don't have any time in my life, in my schedule that I have at the moment, to do 50% races. It just takes too long. I don't have time to edit and get everything sorted. So I'm sticking to 25% races because that's just what I'm on about. And yeah, and the last one I think was don't make upgrades because it's going to make it too easy for you. So the purpose is I'm trying to win the championship as many times as I possibly can, and I will be continuing to make those upgrades. However, I might as well already say it. For Season 4, I will not be staying at Red Bull because I will do a 4th season. And yeah, I will be going somewhere else with a slower team, should we say. So yeah, if you want entertainment, we will be getting it, don't worry. But for now, we chose Red Bull because you guys wanted it. But I will be going somewhere different in Season 4. So yeah, just bear that one in mind. So yeah, that's kind of going to happen. But anyway, enough of all those stuff in the comments section below. If you do still want to put in suggestions in the comments, feel free. I still replied to every single one of them. But when they start coming up more and more and more, and it's the same thing, it just gets annoying. But anyway, into qualifying that we are here. We're actually in the full wet conditions now. And as you can see, I'm skipping forwards here. This is the final part of qualifying, Q3. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Fernando Alonso in the McLaren Honda comes in on his intermediate tyres and says, yo, boys, let me just chuck in pole position. So I thought I was going to get pole position for the Chinese Grand Prix. I honestly said it. I set the fastest lap and I was like, this Red Bull's brilliant in the wet. I'm going to get pole position. All of a sudden, Alonso comes out of nowhere and snatches it away from us. So we're going to be starting on the front row of the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. We've got Lewis Hamilton behind us. Yeah, not an amazing circuit for me, China. I'm okay, I'd say. Probably better than I was in Australia. But hopefully we can get some battles in because I'm not the strongest round here. So we should get some action. And yeah, we can listen to our session goals now from Emma. You know what she's going to say. Do well. And then everyone will be happy. And there it is on the screens right there. So let's get into the race for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Ever since the Sauber of Felipe Massa passed Jenson Button into Turn 1 at the very first Chinese Grand Prix in 2004, Shanghai has consistently provided close racing and extraordinary memories. It's where Lewis Hamilton effectively lost the title in his rookie year, and it's where Nico Rosberg claimed Mercedes' first win of the modern era in 2012. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1, and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. Joining me once again to take you through this race is the effervescent Anthony Davidson, and I'm very much looking forward to it getting underway. You raced here, of course, didn't you, back in your Super Aguri days in that infamous Chinese Grand Prix of 2007?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't last that long, though, unfortunately. Qualifying had gone pretty well, but my brakes failed quite early in the race, around lap 10 or 11, something like that. And of course, back in 2004, I was the very first Formula 1 driver to complete a lap of this circuit. Just thought I'd mention that for you, Crofty. You like a good stat. It's a fairly tough circuit on the brakes here, though. You know, there's that long back straight down into turn 14, and then you got turns 6 and 11. They're quite heavy as well. On top of that, managing your front tyre wear is always a challenge around here, so there's a lot to keep in mind during the Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Fernando Alonso has a good view of turn 1 from his pole position slot, and a Red Bull alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Rosberg, Daniel Ricciardo, and Vettel, Raikkonen, Bottas, Massa, and Nico Hülkenberg, Sainz, Button, Sergio Perez, and Kvyat, Grosjean, Palmer, Kevin Magnussen, and Esteban Gutierrez, Haryanto and Ericsson, Felipe Nasser, and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see we are on the grid here for the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's going to be another simple one-stop race. Unlike last season when they wanted me to do super softs and then mediums, for today's race we're going to be starting on the soft tyres and then going straight to the medium compound tyres for the end of the race, of course. Because it was a wet qualifying session, we were given the freedom of tyre choice, and I decided to start on the softer tyres and then go to the mediums for the end of the race. But as you can see, we're on the grid here for 4, now 5 red lights here at Shanghai, and it is lights out and away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's a good start from us this time. We're going to out-drag Fernando Alonso straight away there, and we are up into the lead here for the Chinese Grand Prix, down into turn 1. We actually run very wide here, and that's going to give Lewis Hamilton the opportunity to fight us down the inside. Lewis Hamilton now takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix, so I thought I had it all covered there, but Hamilton has come and fought back here, and he takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Alonso still in 3rd place here, and he's definitely going to be holding up the pack. So me and Lewis Hamilton have done what we had to do and get past McLaren Honda of Alonso, because he's a lot slower than everybody else. He's out of position really at on pole position, so we really need to keep on pressing. And now my attention is focused on getting that place back against Lewis Hamilton. Of course, we took the lead, and then I outbraked myself into turn 1, and Hamilton snuck through on the inside. So now I need to follow him through this S section here in the middle sector and keep up with Lewis Hamilton and try and get back past him and regain the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. But we just need to see how it goes on. You can see Hamilton's got great traction in the Mercedes-Benz. That Mercedes, and I felt it last year as well, has such tremendous traction that it's impossible sometimes to even think of getting past it. As you can see on the top left, you can see Sebastian Vettel has overtaken Fernando Alonso now, and he's on super soft tyres, so that's pretty interesting. But as you can see, we're coming down the back straight, the long back straight, one of the longest straights on the calendar, in fact, and we're in the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton, literally just trying to get that little extra speed from this Red Bull car. Can we do it? We're going to go late braking down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, and we just about stick it onto the track. And as you can see, we are up into the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. We're going to go and cover the inside line into the final corner, but Hamilton decides not to fight me into the final corner, and around we go, and we're going to take the lead and we now into the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix at the end of the first lap. And let's get a replay of the start then. So as you can see, we've got an out of position McLaren on pole, and as you can see, we actually got quite a good start. It was Lewis Hamilton that got the best start of everybody. I went to cover the inside line going to turn 1, but I made the corner too tight for myself. I ran very wide. Lewis Hamilton comes straight through, and I tried to make sure that I tried to defend from Lewis Hamilton, but I also wanted to defend from Fernando Alonso, because of course I know how slow Fernando is in his McLaren Honda. But luckily, I managed to stay in front of Fernando. Of course, unfortunately, I couldn't stay in front of Lewis Hamilton. However, I will be looking to try and get him back, as you saw at the first lap. So, as you can see, Sebastian Vettel is actually one of the drivers that's on a completely different strategy to everybody else. He started on the Red Mark Super Soft tyres, which in this circuit in Shanghai, it's very, very hard to keep those soft tyres alive. They do definitely fade away very, very quickly indeed. And Lewis Hamilton is definitely, already in fact, he's pulling away from us at this stage of the race. So we definitely need to try and not lose out to him as we push ourselves towards the difficult hairpin here. Braking down is nice and hard here. Lewis Hamilton just not close enough right now to really think of any sort of maneuvers here. And as you can see, we're just trying our hardest. I wanted to just stay with Lewis Hamilton. If I could stay with him, you know, everything would be fine. Now, as you can see, coming down the long back straight here with the DRS activated, you can see Lewis Hamilton definitely a lot quicker in this stage in terms of his straight line speed in this Mercedes. However, of course, I'm in a Red Bull, and I decided to do what Daniel Ricciardo does every time and go down the inside here. In fact, me and Lewis Hamilton actually both go a little bit wide at the hairpin there. As you can see, Hamilton ducks into my slipstream, and then he ducks back out of it, so I decide that I don't need to defend that corner as I was previously trying to defend it, and I could just go back onto the racing line, take the lead of the Grand Prix, and hopefully we can have a nice, comfortable race from there, with Ricciardo now getting in front of Fernando Alonso in the Red Bull, so in the McLaren. So anyway, all good. Moving on to lap 3 of the Grand Prix now, and Lewis Hamilton is still there, and he has still got some great pace at the moment, whereas we look like we're going to have to be doing a little bit of defending. So we're coming around the long banking corner now. You can see here Lewis Hamilton is definitely in the slipstream. He's also going to get the DRS on us, remember, so Hamilton is going to be mightily fast down this pit straight, and you can see here DRS wide open, and look how fast that Mercedes-Benz is. It's literally flown past me right now as we're breaking down into the hairpin corner here. I decided to try and attack Lewis Hamilton as much as I could, but there was nothing I could do. That Mercedes-Benz has got absolutely monstrous straight line speed, and that was really annoying me. However, the second bite of DRS actually goes to myself, and now I can fight back against Lewis Hamilton. So down the pit straight we go. This time it's my turn for some DRS, and down the inside into turn 1, I get the position back from Lewis Hamilton, as it seems that I'm going to be having to do a bit of fighting today, unlike Bahrain, where I didn't have to do a load of fighting. As you can see, my engineer also gives me a strategy change if I wanted to come in at the end of lap 4, or come in at the end of, or come in when I was meant to come in, and I decided to stick to my old strategy and not change to the new one. Moving on to lap 4 of the Grand Prix now, or further on into the 4th lap of this Grand Prix. We're coming down the long back straight here with my beautiful gold helmet here, kind of simplifying or rectifying the Red Bull car, but Lewis Hamilton's actually got DRS on me at the moment. He's very, very close. You can see him in the mirrors. He's closing, but you can see literally he's pushing me along right now. That Mercedes car is so fast, and he's literally just giving me a little push and hurry up to basically just get a move on. So Lewis Hamilton definitely looking to make me get a move on, basically, but we're not going to be phased by Lewis Hamilton making some daft maneuvers right behind me. Moving on to lap 5 of the Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton is still there, but this time, of course, it's just me and him at the moment, so we're looking to defend against Lewis Hamilton now. Coming around the long banking corner, you can see Hamilton's still in my slipstream, and I need to make sure that he's not in my slipstream, but unfortunately, he is. And he's a lot closer this time, so as you can see, back on board with my rear diffuser, you can see Lewis Hamilton's DRS wing goes open now, and you can just see the straight line speed of that Mercedes. It's so goddamn fast. I didn't even bother fighting it, but this time I actually outbrake myself into the hairpin here. Hamilton broke really early. Hamilton now defending. I then see that he's going to move back. I do a switchback move on Lewis Hamilton. A very late decision to do the switchback into the hairpin, and I am up into the lead back again in this Chinese Grand Prix with me and Lewis Hamilton having a very good scrap out front. And I believe I got the DRS for the pit straight. No, Hamilton did get the DRS actually for the pit straight. But luckily the pit straight isn't as long as the back straight, so I'm able to stay in front of Lewis Hamilton for a little bit longer. Moving on to lap 6 of the Grand Prix now, and it's going to be our pit window time. This is when we're going to be making our pit stop for the white marked medium compound tyres, which we will be taking to the end of the race. So as you can see, we're coming in now, pit lane speed limiter on, and me and Hamilton both coming in at the same time to put on a fresh set of boots ready for this next stint. So as you can see, hopefully my Red Bull mechanics can produce a nice good pit stop. So on go the white mark medium compound tyres, but annoyingly they've let Hamilton go out in front of us. Red Bull have been slow on their pit stops, and Lewis Hamilton is now going to be in the net first place when we come out, when everyone else makes their pit stops. So annoyingly, Red Bull couldn't get the pit stops right, and they've made me lose the place to Lewis Hamilton, and now I've got to go and get that back from Lewis Hamilton. But luckily we haven't really rejoined in loads of traffic. Of course, Hamilton's going to close up to Esteban Gutierrez in the Haas there, but I don't think we'll have as much traffic as I thought. So anyway, further on into lap 7 now. This is still the same lap as when we came into the pits. This is just a little bit, this is just cut further ahead. Lewis Hamilton's now caught up to Esteban Gutierrez here in the Haas F1 car, and you can already see, look how fast he is in the slipstream there. Now, I decided to take this as a will here. I've got the DRS now down this back straight. Hamilton and Gutierrez battling very hard there. Gutierrez is, in fact. This is what position. I decided to try and slip in and see if I get a double toe off these guys, and since they were scrapping, I tried to see if I could make any sort of moves. Now I'm up behind the Haas of Esteban Gutierrez. However, I see he's on the soft tyres, so I go to the inside line, but it doesn't matter because Gutierrez pits anyway, and he's going to be going onto the medium compound tyres. And now I've got the DRS, and now there's no traffic between me and Lewis Hamilton, so I can look to try and get that place back. However, of course, Hamilton is fast, so hopefully I can stay with him. And on lap 8, I have managed to stay with him, going very wide there on the exit curb of this banking corner. Now down the long back straight here, I've got the DRS wide open. I'm trying to give it everything here. Can I make another dive-bombing maneuver like I did on the end of the first lap against Lewis Hamilton? Here we go. Not close enough, unfortunately, to get past Lewis Hamilton there. Have to sit in behind. But luckily, I'm a lot closer to Lewis Hamilton than I was previously. So hopefully I could try and get past him. Through the final corner we go now. And you can see I literally probably broke the camera there going through that final corner. And I've got the DRS now, Lewis Hamilton. This is my opportunity here to get back past Lewis Hamilton. We've got the slipstream and the DRS breaking into turn 1. Just not close enough again to Lewis Hamilton. And we're starting to get opportunities. But Hamilton's gone wide into turn 1. And that's going to give me the opportunity. He's opened the door for me here. However, he's got the inside line into turn 2. And I've got to give the position back. And Hamilton just defends there from myself. And as we come in now through, Hamilton still leads this race, but I'm not giving this one up. I'm going to tuck in the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton, making the move down into turn 4, late braking. Here we go, down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, and we get the job done on Lewis Hamilton once again. Some brilliant racing there between me and Lewis Hamilton. Really absolutely going for it here in the Chinese Grand Prix. There's no one else really behind us because they were all stuck behind Alonso at the start of the race. So it's just me versus Lewis Hamilton. And Kimi Raikkonen is actually retired from the race here at lap 10 of this Chinese Grand Prix. So what happened to Kimi Raikkonen? Well, let's take a wild guess here. So he's coming down the pit straight, and it's an engine failure. He had the DRS on Nico Rosberg, but unfortunately his engine has failed, and that's Kimi Raikkonen out of the Chinese Grand Prix. As you just saw there, the safety car came out, and that was for the Raikkonen incident. So Kimi Raikkonen is out of this race, and the safety car has been deployed due to the incident with Kimi Raikkonen. Moving on to lap 12 of the Grand Prix now. So the safety car was out for 2 laps, I believe. And now the safety car is coming in. And as you can see, I'm warming up my tyres here. And I've decided to go on the grass. I thought I would just cut the grass a little bit here as we're breaking now down into the hairpin here. And now I've got the opportunity to go when I want to go. You see all the drivers behind me, and now I decide to bolt. I've decided to go, and the rest of the field have not been aware of my bolt really. And now it's breaking through the final corner. Down the pit straight we go here. We've got now 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg are both near me. However, the track's getting wetter. I don't know if you can see it on your screens, but the rain's starting to fall. And it's going to make the track conditions a lot more slipperier, and that's going to go into my favour because this Red Bull car has got a much better chassis than Mercedes, so when it comes to us having wet weather races, it's actually going to be more beneficial than we thought. Moving on then to the final lap of the Grand Prix, and as you can see, the track conditions are getting a lot worse, and that was paying into my favour. After the safety car restart, you can see the rain drops falling on the screen. I definitely had a lot more grip in these colder weather conditions, and we're going to make it a hat-trick of wins here at China. We have done another great race here. We started second on the grid and we got past Fernando Alonso. A nice entertaining battle with Lewis Hamilton, which was kind of spoilt really by the safety car. So overall in this Grand Prix then, we definitely had a nice fight with Lewis Hamilton. That's what we want to see. We want to see Red Bull and Mercedes going at it. And I think we got that today, which is nice. Unfortunately, the safety car came out and then it sort of allowed the rain to come in, because on the weather forecast the rain wasn't meant to fall. However, because the safety car came out for about 2 laps, that allowed the rain that was going to fall literally on the very last lap to fall just before the race finished, and that meant that Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes struggled, whilst I had a lot more grip with my better Red Bull chassis, and I was able to pull away and win the race. So yeah, it's been a perfect start actually to this season with Red Bull. We've not had we've actually had a better start with the Red Bull team than we have with the Mercedes of last year. So that's really interesting to find that out. But Rosberg and Hamilton on the podium, which means that I believe they're going to close in on us in the constructors standings. Actually, no. So here we go then. Hamilton takes second with Rosberg third. My teammate fourth with the 2 Williamses, 5th and 6th. Button and Alonso. So Alonso the pole sitter and still scoring points, but not enough there. And yeah, overall, a very nice race indeed. In the driver's standings, which is going to show up very, very soon anyway, we are going to continue to lead the standings by, I believe, it's 27 points, 29 points, I think it is, between myself and Lewis Hamilton. So a nice, comfortable lead. We are literally doing a Rosberg-esque performance right now. So everything's going well for us in this championship at the moment as we take the lead here with the two Mercedes' second and third. In the constructor standings, we actually increased our advantage over Mercedes by a couple of points because of the race result from today. So overall, a great race for Red Bull Racing. And that's going to be it for the Chinese Grand Prix. If you did enjoy it, leave a like. That'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. We actually beat Daniel Ricciardo in the rivalry, so that's really nice to see. We get lots and lots of driver position stuff there. And we do actually make an upgrade ready for the Russian Grand Prix, which is the next one. Because I know that there's Russia, Spain, and then Monaco, I believe that's the order, I decided to get some downforce on the car, ready for these downforce specific tracks. So there it is. Until then, guys, I'll see you for the next race. Take care. Peace.